The year before 2026 was not kind. It tested patience. It tested belief. It tested how much pain a human heart could carry in silence. There were days when waking up felt heavier than going to sleep. Days when effort gave no reward. Days when everything tried to convince you that quitting would be easier. You tried. You failed. You stood up. You fell again. And every time you fell, the world became a little quieter. Friends stopped calling. Support turned into advice. Advice turned into judgment. Judgment turned into distance. People don't abandon you when you're weak. They abandon you when you're no longer useful. You learned that the hard way. Dreams you once spoke loudly about were now whispered only in your own mind. Plans that once excited you now scared you. Hope became something you handled carefully, afraid it might break again. But even in that darkness, something refused to die. A voice, soft at first, almost unnoticeable, but persistent. It said, "You didn't come this far to disappear." So you stayed. You stayed when quitting made sense. You stayed when motivation was gone. You stayed when progress was invisible. You stayed when nobody would have blamed you for walking away. Most people think comebacks begin with confidence. They don't. Comebacks begin with shame, with regret, with the quiet realization that life will not save you. You must save yourself. You stopped waiting for perfect conditions. You stopped blaming timing. You stopped explaining your situation to people who never listened anyway. Instead, you worked, not loudly, not proudly, but consistently. You fixed what was broken. You learned what you ignored. You faced what you avoided. Some nights you were tired beyond words. Some mornings you doubted everything again. But you kept moving, because moving hurt less than standing still. You began to understand something powerful. Pain is not punishment. It is instruction. Every failure showed you what not to repeat. Every loss stripped away ego. Every disappointment taught discipline. While others chased comfort, you built endurance. While others searched for shortcuts, you mastered patience. While others waited for motivation, you trained without it. No one noticed, and that was the point. Growth doesn't need an audience. Preparation doesn't ask for permission. Strength doesn't announce itself. 2026 arrived quietly. No fireworks, no applause, no sudden miracle. Just another morning. But something was different. You were different. You woke up with clarity instead of confusion, with direction instead of desperation, with calm instead of chaos. The habits you built in the dark now guided you in the light. The discipline you practiced in silence now shaped your confidence. The self-respect you earned through struggle now showed in your posture. Your voice, your decisions, opportunities didn't magically appear. You created them. You spoke with certainty instead of hope. You acted with purpose instead of fear. You moved like someone who knew their worth. People noticed, not because you changed for them, but because you stopped needing their approval. Some were inspired. Some were uncomfortable. Some pretended they supported you all along. You didn't argue. You didn't explain. You didn't seek validation. You let results speak. And results are loud. Doors that were once closed began to open. Conversations changed tone. Respect replaced sympathy. But the greatest victory wasn't external. It was internal. You trusted yourself again. You no longer panicked when things went wrong. You no longer crumbled under pressure. You no longer doubted your ability to recover. Because you had proof. You survived your worst year. You endured your weakest moments. You rebuilt from nothing. Fear lost its power. Not because it disappeared, but because you learned to walk forward with it. You realized something important. Success is not about never falling. It's about refusing to stay down. And this comeback wasn't about revenge. It wasn't about proving people wrong. It wasn't about showing off. It was about reclaiming yourself. The version of you that once believed deeply. The version of you that worked relentlessly. The version of you that didn't run when things got hard. That version was back. Stronger. Calmer. Smarter. 2026 became the year where effort finally aligned with outcome. Where patience met opportunity. Where preparation met timing. But you never forgot the struggle. You never forgot the nights you cried alone. You never forgot the silence after failure. You never forgot how close you came to giving up. And because you remembered, you stayed humble. You worked like someone who knows it can all be taken away. You appreciated progress without getting arrogant. You valued consistency over attention. The comeback didn't make you loud. It made you unshakable. Now, when life challenges you, you don't ask, why me? You ask, what's next? You don't wait for permission. You don't fear starting over. You don't panic when things slow down, because you've been there before, and you came back. This is what 2026 means. Not perfection, not luck, not overnight success. It means resilience. It means discipline. It means choosing growth over comfort again and again. It means standing tall after being broken. It means believing after being disappointed. It means moving forward when stopping would be easier. This year is not about becoming someone new. It's about returning to who you always were. Before,